Hello children, good morning. Welcome to the mathematics class of class 10. Today we will start the basic things related with the number systems. In previous classes you have discussed about the numbers and their properties such as whole numbers, natural number, integer, rational number and real number. This year we will discuss in detail about the real numbers. So let us start. First thing is real number. Real numbers are simple the numbers including rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are natural numbers, whole numbers and integers. Natural number, it is just counting number. It is represented by capital N, and simply you write all the numbers in curly bracket, you can easily represent the natural number. Then the same manner whole numbers, it is represented by the W. W is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Then the next number is integer. It is represented by N, or sometime we use Z to represent this. So you can say integers can be represented by I or Z. So integers are nothing, these are the simply all positive negative numbers. These are the negative numbers, positive numbers and including 0. So when we include the negative number in whole number, you can say integers can be easily created. In other hand, you can say integers are the superset of whole numbers also. Next thing, rational numbers. The numbers that can be written in the form of P upon Q, these are called rational numbers. It is represented by capital Q. You can write in curly bracket P upon Q such that P and Q are integers, Q is not equal to 0 and HCF of PQ must be 1. Here you can see this symbol. This is the symbol for the such that. You can read it P upon Q such that P, that is numerator, and Q, that is denominator, are the integers and Q cannot be 0, means denominator never can be 0. If you take denominator 0, so division property does not define. So except 0, any integer can be in the denominator to create a rational number. The next thing is for a rational number, the HCF of numerator, that is P, and denominator, that is Q, must be always 1. 12 upon 15 is a fraction but not a rational number because HCF of both the numerator and denominator are other than 1, that is 3. 3 4 are 12, 3 5 are 15. So its rational form is 4 upon 5. So now you can easily distinguish between the rational number and fractional number. All fractional numbers cannot be rational number, but every rational number is a fraction also. Examples are clearly written over here: -3 upon 2, 0, 1 upon 3, 2, comma 3, and so on. Such type of numbers can come in this category, that is the rational number. Next number, that is irrational number. It is represented by capital Q dash. So here we can write all the numbers, those who are written in the third form, that is √2, √5, pi, also irrational number, and the number those who are sometime repeating and sometime not repeating also come in this category, that is of irrational number. Next thing is some important symbols. So here basic symbols I have written in the chart, you can note down and learn. Such that these are the 2 points: greater or equal to, is not equal to, there exist, does not exist, belongs to, does not belong to. So these symbols you can learn and write in your notebook. Then superset, subset, proper subset, infinite, union, and intersection. These are the some basic symbols of mathematics which you can learn and use in your questions in the exercises. Next thing is properties of unnatural numbers, whole numbers, and integers. The properties of subtraction. So here closure property: if a and b are 2 integers are rational numbers, so a minus b is also integer or rational number. Then next property is commutative property: if a and b are 2 numbers, then a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Associative property is also not applicable for the subtraction, that is a minus b minus c is not equal to a minus b bracket minus c. Property of 0: if a is any number, so 0 is also a rational number, but a minus 0 is not equal to 0 minus a. Multiplicative properties: the closure properties for multiplication of 2 rational numbers, that product of 2 rational number are always same number, that is I. If you will choose 2 numbers as a natural number, the product of 2 number will be natural. If you will choose integer, the product of 2 number will be integers. If you choose 2 number as a rational number, so product of 2 number will also be rational number. Examples are clearly written over here, you can note down. If a and b are 2 natural numbers, then a into b is also natural. If a and b are 2 whole numbers, so a into b also whole number. If a and b are 2 integers, so a into b is also integer. If a and b are 2 rational number, then a into b is also rational number. Then the commutative property for the multiplication: a into b is always b into a. Same associative property: a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. Identity property for the multiplication: so 1 is any number multiplied with other number always give you same number, that is a into 1 is equal to 1 into a is equal to a. So similarly, you can multiply 3 into 1 or 1 into 3, you will get always 3. So you can just say whenever it is required to multiply any number, for example, minus 1 upon 2, minus 1 upon 2 into 1. you will always get same number, that is minus 1 upon 2. So you can say 1 is an identity or identity element for the multiplication of any number, either it is whole number or rational number or integer. Next thing is distributive property. It is applicable for the three numbers a, b and c. So a into b plus minus c is equal to a into b plus minus a into c. It means a will be distributed over all the numbers. This a will multiply with b also and c also separately when you open the bracket. So this process is called the left distributive process. If you will multiply a from the right side in the same way, you can write like this. It is called right distributive property. So this a will multiply c as well as by b like this. B into a. If plus you have taken, write plus. If minus taken, minus. I have written both the numbers together. Now c into both the signs together, sorry. Now multiply c and a, you will get c into a. So this time a has been distributed from the right side. Here a has been distributed from left side. So this is called left distributive property and this property is called right distributive property. Now the properties of division for the rational number. So closure property is not applicable because division of two numbers is not commutative. So a upon b is not equal to b upon a. You can say commutative property is not applicable over here. Associative property a divided by b divided by c is not equal to a divided by b divided by c. Similarly, property of 0 is also not applicable. A divided by 0 is not equal to 0 divided by a. Same identity property also not applicable and distributive is also not applicable over here. You cannot write a divided by 1 is equal to 1 divided by a. Same a divided by b plus minus c is not equal to a divided by b plus minus divided by c. It means a cannot be distributed by the division. It can be distributed only applying the multiplication sign. So be careful while opening the bracket, apply these rules of distributive property and solve the questions easily. Now, I'm going to start the class 10 syllabus. So first of all, after learning the properties of numbers, you can start your 10th syllabus. First thing is Euclid's division lemma. What is it? Euclid's division lemma. Lemma means that is the theorem which you have not to prove, just only you have to learn. So this theorem is nothing, it is simply the division property. You know that dividend is equal to, from the class fourth, third, you know dividend is equal to divisor plus into quotient plus remainder. So dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, you know from your previous classes. Here in Euclid's division lemma, we will consider dividend as A. Suppose that divisor is B, quotient is Q, and remainder is R. So A is equal to BQ plus R is your Euclid's division lemma. Here R is always greater than or equal to 0 and always less than divisor. So whenever you will divide, your remainder must be less than the divisor. You see the division lemma in the formula form. So you can say, given positive integers a and b, there exist unique integer q and r that satisfy the condition a is equal to bq plus r. Just now I have explained you. Here b is called, a is called dividend, b is called divisor, q is called quotient, r is remainder, where remainder must be greater than 0 or less than divisor. You have to learn this division lemma and write in your notebook. Example, you can write here. If you have 455, so you can express by using the Euclid's division lemma. If it is divided by 42, you will get quotient 10 and remainder 35. So 45 can be written as 42 into 10 plus 35 in the form of Euclid's division lemma. Now, the main aim of the Euclid's division lemma to find out the HCF of two positive integers or rational number also. So here if C and D are two integers, here C is greater than D. Always you have to choose greater number as dividend and smaller number as divisor to find out the HCF of two numbers. So following steps are essential over here. So first step, apply Euclid division lemma to C and D so that you can write C is equal to DQ plus R, 0 is less than or equal to R is less than D. D is here divisor, not dividend. C is equal to dividend, Q is quotient, R is remainder as usual. Now the step number 2, if R is equal to 0, D is the HCF of C and D. If R is not equal to 0, again apply the division lemma to D and R. Then step 3, continue the process till the remainder is 0. The divisor at this stage will be the required HCF. So finally, you have to find out the remainder as 0. Once you get the remainder 0, so last divisor is called the HCF. Step 3 tells you this thing. Now exercise 1. Exercise 1.1. Question number first, use Euclid's division algorithm, that is lemma, you can say. Algorithm and lemma both are same things. So nothing is difference in both of them. Algorithm, again I am repeating, and lemma both are the same thing. So to find out the HCF of two numbers, example question is given 135 and 225. So first solution you see here, 225 you have to write in the form of Euclid, that is 135 into 1 plus 90. How will you get? You see in the board. One 35 and 225. So question number first, 135 and 225. Their HCF you have to find out. So here you say 225 is bigger than 135. Means 225 will be dividend and 135 you have to take as divisor. Now you perform the division. Like beginners, you know how to divide very well. So first, take the bigger number as dividend, a smaller number as divisor. Try to find out remainder. If you will get the remainder 0, so this number, that is divisor, is called HCF. If you will not get the remainder 0, continue. So 135, 1 ja 135, you solve it. Remainder is 90, I think so. 5 minus 5, 0. 12 minus 3, 9. So remainder is 90. So 225 you can write as Euclid's division lemma. So 135 into 1 plus 90 is remainder. Now next divisor, last divisor become next dividend. This process will continue till get the remainder 0. 90 you divide 135 by 90. 91 ja again 90. 5 45 you will get a remainder. So you can write 135 in the algorithm form is equal to 90 into 1 plus 45. Next, since remainder is not coming 0, so again you have to perform division. Previous remainder become divisor and previous divisor become dividend. Now 45 to the 90. Once you get remainder 0, your process will stop. Last divisor is called HCF. So you can write here 90 is equal to, as division lemma, 45 into 2 plus 0. So this HCF of both the number is equal to 45, that is last divisor. Okay, so very easily you perform this simple division just like done in the previous classes, but and express in this form so that you can approach up to your syllabus of class 10, that is the Euclid's division lemma. Next question. Second one, similarly, third one, 867 and 255. So here 867 is bigger than 255. So 867 will taken as dividend and 255 as divisor, and follow this simple process. You will get this answer HCF as 51. So simply first you divide 867 by 255. 867 by 255. So 2 3 ja 6. So 3 5 ja 15. 3 5 ja 15. 1 16. 3 2 ja 6 and 1 7. 7 minus 5, 2, 6 minus 6, 0, 102 you will get as remainder. So 255, 867 is written in the form of 255 into 3 plus 100 and 2. Next, since remainder is not coming 0, so this 102 become divisor and 255 become dividend. Now divide again, you will get 2 as quotient, divide it, 100, 2 to the 4 and 2 to the 4, 2 and the 2. Now 5 minus 4G1 and 5 minus 51. So 255 can be written as 102 into 2 plus 51 remainder. Now next remainder is 51. So 102 will be next dividend. Divided 51 to the 102. So 102 can be written as 51 into 2 plus remainder 0. Since we get finally remainder 0, so last divisor, that is 51, it will be the SCF of your both the numbers. So in this way, easily you can find out the SCF of two numbers. First and third question I have explained, and second question is homework. Question number second is homework. You do this question and similar questions you do your own. Very easy this portion. After doing, if any confusion, you can ask. So this is the exercise 1.1 and the some basic terminology of the number system. Just now I have discussed you. You go in detail, learn these properties and definitions, and then next time we will discuss in detail about your exercise. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Bye.